Español 2. Verbos con cambios. Many verbs in Spanish have spelling changes that affect the stem of the verb. These verbs use the regular verb endings. So if it ends in AR, you would put your regular AR endings on it. ER verbs have ER endings and IR verbs have IR endings. It is important to know the rules for these spelling changes. Some verbs change from E to IE in certain forms. Examples of these verbs include comenzar, empezar, pensar, perder, preferir, and querer. The example we're using today is comenzar, to begin. Not all forms make this change, but some forms change this E to IE in the present tense before adding your regular endings. Yo comienzo. So again, you're going to take off your AR ending as you normally would. You're going to change this E to IE here, and then you're going to add your regular AR ending, which for yo is O. Tú comienzas. Él, ella, usted comienza. Nosotros comenzamos. Vosotros comenzáis. Notice the nosotros and vosotros forms do not change. But you're still, again, adding your regular endings. Ellos, ellas, ustedes comienzan. Please make sure that you change that to L. For some reason, that L fell off there. So again, in the yo, tú, él, ella, usted, and ellos, ellas, ustedes forms, you are changing the E to IE, but your regular endings still apply. You are only changing the stem. If there is more than one E in the stem, like there is in preferir, the change always happens in the last E of the stem. So that means that when you take off the ending, you're going to change the last E that's left, which in this case would be this E. Another type of stem changing verb is verbs that change from E to I. Some examples of these verbs include conseguir, which has an irregular yo form of consigo, decir, which also has an irregular yo form of digo, pedir, and those are the only three that we have in this unit. The example that we're using is pedir, to request or ask for. So again, you're going to take off your ending and you're going to change this E, but this is an E to I verb, so you have to change the E to I. So the yo form is yo pido. Tú pides, él, ella, usted pide, nosotros pedimos, vosotros pedís, ellos, ellas, ustedes piden. Just as in the E to IE verbs, these verbs only change in the yo, tú, él, ella, usted, and ellos, ellos, ustedes forms. And again, you're changing the E to I, but your endings are the same. It's an IR verb, so you're using your IR endings. Your nosotros and vosotros forms do not change. And again, you are still using your IR endings because it's an IR verb. There is the last kind of stem changing verb, which is verbs that change from O to UE in certain forms. Some of these verbs include dormir, jugar, poder, and volver. Jugar technically isn't an O to UE verb, but it does follow the same rules. Our example here is volver. So again, we're going to take off our ending, and we're going to change the O, but only in certain forms. So the yo form is vuelvo, because it changes to UE before we add our ending. Tú vuelves. Él, ella, usted vuelve. Nosotros volvemos. Vosotros volvéis. Ellos, ellas, ustedes vuelven. So again, in the yo, tú, él, ella, usted, and ellos, ellas, ustedes forms, the O changes to UE. In the nosotros and vosotros forms, the O does not change, but regardless of the change, you're using the same endings as your regular endings. This is an ER verb, so we have to remember that we're doing hemos and eis. The verb jugar follows the same rules, but there's no O in jugar, so we have to use the U, and it's the U that changes to UE in the appropriate forms. I hope this helps you understand stem changing verbs. Don't forget to do the Conjugamos assignment.